Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 61 of the 72 review. We have got a very familiar lineup for you guys this Sunday evening. Just next to me, we have got Ian from Over the Bar. Let everybody know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate.
Hello, I'm Ian. I'm a nearly 62-year-old Rotherham season ticket holder. My banner, please make it stop. I mean, this season. When the Millers are away, I'm all over the country blogging for Over the Bar YouTube channel. And let me put it this way: I don't want the chat deciding where I'm going to go anywhere anytime soon, because the one I went to yesterday were absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, not a great weekend for you, mate, in terms of the game that was chosen for you, and Rotherham as well at Leeds, which we will get into shortly. Below him is Jake, Puncture 41. Let everybody know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate.
I'm a very tired Sheffield Wednesday fan who should not agree to do, it'll only take 3 minutes kind of job on a Sunday. A couple of hours later. Anyway, I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan who's been doing this for ages. I talk about Wednesday, any little bit of Wednesday news I do. And I also co-host a podcast called the Talking Wednesday Podcast, where we talk about everything Wednesday and we're just having fun and seeing what happened, because so far this Wednesday team and this Wednesday season, it just made me a little bit bipolar. 1 minute I think we can do it, next minute I think we're down. So we'll see what happens. We got Leicester next, so we'll probably screw it up.
Yeah, tough game. Before I move on to Lee, ATID, still not home from Sunderland. It's not happy with cross country. That is a tough hold away.
I empathise.
That's our longest game of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is indeed. Finally, Lee, around the grounds, let everybody know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate, before we jump into looking at the EFL.
Yep, so just a ground hopper for covering it for my YouTube channel. Also a Sheffield Wednesday fan. I'm a lot like Jake. We don't know whether we're coming and going with this team at the moment. But yeah, great to be on the show yet again, mate.
Lovely stuff. But like Neil says, three of us are smiling, one isn't. We'll start in League One because Lee, you were around the grounds in League One. So yeah, if you are new to this, get your comments in. It does drive conversation for the next hour or so, and it does kind of send us off on tangents, which we enjoy to a certain extent. But we will try and get through all three divisions in the next hour, starting with League One. So let's get League One up on the screen. And I think the best place to start would be where you went, Lee. It was Blackpool against Oxford.
Oxford, yeah.
Talk us through this one, mate.
Yeah, so a fixture I didn't know we were going to until Friday. I'm in where to go, and I've always fancied a little trip to the seaside. Who can't knock a trip to the seaside? So I got in my car, headed to Blackpool nice and early, had me fun on all the
I'm gonna say your review. I can't wait for your channel reviewing roller coasters and stuff, because your review of the Dodging was awesome.
Let me tell you, I'll relive my youth there, Jake, mate. No, but I got there nice and early and did all the seasidey stuff, which I think everyone does when they go to Blackpool. Had my fish and chips, but then headed to the game, and we're looking forward to this one because obviously Oxford in 7th, Blackpool in 8th. Both with eyes on the playoffs, so a juicy fixture to get into. Want the best game, if I'm honest. Two teams often puffed, but without any real quality. Obviously, both goals coming in the first half, more or less not long after each other. I don't know what time it was. Yes, the 16th, 21st. But Blackpool come out the blocks, the better. Tried to probe Oxford, and they got the goal. Nice move with a long cross to the back post, which were flicked back, and a good headed finish. But then Oxford more or less got back into it with a finish. And then, to be fair, they should have gone 2-1 up. He's gone through, and he's played a pass, and the kid looked like he missed kicks it at first, but then it turns out he drops the shoulder on the defender, but then he rolls it to his strike partner, who then as an effort you think it's a goal, but a great clearance off the line from a Blackpool player, and I did think it were in from where I was, but it was cracking clearance because it looked a shoe-in goal. But then, really after that, the game, both teams tried to ask questions of each other, but without any of the quality in the final third. I think the only real clear effort in the second half were Oxford, cracking ball in from Murphy that come on second half for Oxford, and it's point blank header. I don't know why he's not scoring, he's hit the post, but other than that, there were nothing really to shout about from both teams. I think Blackpool frustrated with the manager. I think you always know Blackpool from the Premier League days where they get on the front foot against sides and attack teams, and yeah, it was a bit frustrating at times because they didn't seem to want to get at Oxford. So I can imagine why they're on the manager's back, to be honest.
I do understand that, but with Blackpool, with what they had after he left, kind of thing, I just would think you would give it a little bit more time, kind of thing. Just because he left, it didn't work. He'd come back, and they always say never go back, but I think this was the right decision to go back because he already had things set up in place. How did Joe Bayer play when he came on?
Did things steady, Jay, just how we imagine.
Just done what he normally does.
Yeah.
Did it look weird with him wearing orange?
It did, yeah. And when he come on, I was like, proper weird. But you know him, Jake. He's going to do a sterling job for them.
Oh, he's going to do fantastic. As long as he stays fit.
Yeah, that's the problem with Byers. He doesn't stay fit enough. But yeah, you get him fit and firing, he's going to be a very true signing for him.
Yeah.
I just think they lacked a little bit without Rhodes. Was Rhodes injured? I don't know. Has he gone back?
No, I think he's still there. I don't think he went back. I think they kept him.
I was surprised he didn't start. He must be injured then because he wasn't on bench at all.
No, he's nowhere, is he?
No.
Shall we get him, Lee? I hear he's really good.
But yeah, they just lacked that focal point up front, and obviously Rose has been banging him in for fun for Blackpool. But yeah, I think on reflection, I think a point shared with a fair result. I just want a special mention to the guys I met at the Armfield Club. I got a tweet.
Great place,
Yeah, unbelievable place. I got a tweet just before heading to the ground just to say, come and check this out, have a drink.
If we knew you were going to Blackpool, we would have told you to go meet Lee.
Lee
Charles.
Lee Charles.
He's a Blackpool vlogger.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was because it was a last minute thing, so I wasn't prepared. But I got this tweet and just said, go and check it out. And honestly, it didn't disappoint. If you ever go to a Blackpool game, anyone neutral,
Well worth it.
Well worth it. He showed me the pictures of what it looked like before, and it was just like a proper old school working men's club with the old school carpets. And yeah, just to see what it's like now, and it's just a football paradise. It was one of them where I didn't know where to look. So for me, that was my highlight of the day, other than going round on Dodgems in the arcades and beating 10-year-olds on the
On Donkey Derby.
Donkey Derby, yeah. Proper chuff with that. His dad
Sounds like you had a good day.
Yeah, class day. Oh, Blackpool, I think it gets its bad press. Obviously,
Blackpool's a cracking day out.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I think for me, it's one of them games that fans look for in the fixture as an away day. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
But only trouble is when we play them, we tend to get them on a Tuesday night in March or something.
Yeah, that's one thing you don't want. Yeah. I mean, it was a glorious day as well, so I had proper drops on. It was brilliant.
Yeah. You seem to have had a better day than ATID, who's still having an absolute stinker, literally. He has commented saying that there's some absolute smelly bastards on this train. He's having an absolute nightmare. I feel for you, ATID. If there's anybody else on that train watching this, Mark Alden's popped into the chat as well, asked our thoughts on the blue card. I'll start with this one. I think it is completely idiotic. I agree with what the Spurs gaffer said, I think it'll just completely kill the game. I think if somebody's simbing for 10 minutes, all you're going to get is people sat behind the ball. It's going to slow it down. It's just going to be absolute hideous to watch. And I think football's a sport that's got so good because of how it's run and the rules and the laws around it. I don't think it needs tweaking to this sort of level. Ian, your thoughts on the blue card?
I mean, I think FIFA's kicked it into the long grass. I think it's an idiotic idea because if you get, as you do get sometimes in games, you get, a ruckus, somebody gets a bad tackle and then everybody piles in. It's going to end up being 7-a-side.
Yeah,
it's going to be ridiculous. And what happens if a keeper gets pulled up for dissent? Do they put the sub keeper on for 10 minutes? It just can't work. Can't work.
Jake, blue card.
I think it's a stupid idea. You've already got VAR that's already slowing games down. I'm telling you now, they are trying to make it more like NFL. The more I see it, I am expecting them to have it where, hey, they're going to be while we figure out if it's a blue card or not, here's an advert for Sky Bet or Bet365, or it's a money grab, I think, to put more adverts in football. That's what I think it is. I think it's absolutely stupid. Leave it alone. The rules of football have been very simple for years.
Yeah.
Why complicate it with stupid things? Because you do realize teams are going to find a way around this. And the problem is the moment they find a way around it, you're then going to have more issues. I don't think it's stupid.
Yeah.
Lee, are you going to balance this debate out, or is it going to be unanimous?
I'm at balls, no chance. When I read it, I thought, is it April Fool's or something? What baffles me is these airbrained idiots that sit around a table and think, oh, let's have a blue card. Man, what? That's my worry. It's these idiots at the top of thinking about these ideas. Just sort the refs out and just leave the game alone. Just let us enjoy it. Stop pissing about with it. Rant over.
I hope that answers your question, Mark. I don't think any of us want the blue card. Bailey's hit the nail on the head in the chat. They did well at the start of this season, clamping down on time wasting, but this will turn it the other way. Imagine the team going down to 10. The time wasting will soon come back.
Yeah.
But how long did that last for? It lasted for what, 4 or 5 games? And then it disappeared.
Yeah. There we go.
I don't want to talk about officiating either, because officiating just getting worse and worse and worse. I reckon we should just let a team of blind referees do it, because they do a better job.
Just let teams choose their own things like we used to do at playground. Just have everybody's the referee.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't have anybody. We wouldn't have anybody called Madley going anywhere near New York Stadium, I tell you, because they're both as bad as each other.
Evening, Finley. He's been to the Donny shop for a pillow. I thought we did do mascot teddies. I will find out if we do. I'll get back to you on that. I thought we did. But a pillar's almost as good. Before we move on from League One, we do always point you over to Cod's Blogs. He does a League One deep dive where he goes into this in much more detail if League One's your thing. So, head over there. He starts that at 8 o'clock, I believe it is tonight.
Yeah.
But, Jake, any League One games that you want to touch on?
What happened to Peterborough?
Go for it.
They absolutely wrecked my bet. They absolutely... And I didn't put much on. I put a £5 on because I felt like sod it. But how many own goals do you want to score? They just looked a mess at the back. And it was very much unlike Peterborough this season. It's like something gone, we're getting close, and then they've gone catapult. Yeah. And Wickham didn't have to do much to get the goals either. It was like just watching a training exercise at times. I don't think it was even... I would say Wickham probably got out of second gear all game.
Yeah.
There wasn't much to it, was there?
No.
Double Claxon for Sadlier. There we go. A decent finish from him. But it was... They were architects of their own downfall yesterday, Peterborough, weren't they?
It looks like the wheels have come off. Also, Peterborough scored an own goal when they got beat at Exeter in midweek as well. So that's 3 own goals in 2 games.
Yeah. Abaddon has said he's noticed Wigan tend to show up when they're considered underdogs in a game. Very weird team this season. And MTFC, that I've butchered that, haven't I?
Bilokapich.
Bilokapich. Yeah, we'll go Bilokapich. He's a poor keeper. Wow.
That bloke
Absolutely
Bill is
butchered that
naff.
name. Thank God he's not Rovers keeper. But
No,
yeah, he didn't
I
have a very good game.
got absolutely rinsed midweek versus Coventry and for the Birmingham team sheet when I tried to read it out. I've got to pay someone with AI to do it instead.
Yeah, I really don't envy commentators with some names that are out there. I mean, it's get the teeth back in and away we go. Ian, any League One games that you want to touch on before I butcher any more names?
Yes, I do. Reading, what a flaming go they're having. They're having a right go at staying up. I mean, they're bang on form. I mean, okay, they were playing a team that are really on the floor at the moment with Charlton, and they look like they could go down to League Two.
Yeah,
but Reading, they're out of the relegate. I believe they're out of the bottom four now.
Yeah.
And to say the points deductions that they've had, they're doing superb.
Haven't they got one coming? Well. Haven't they got another point deduction coming for the pitch invasion, or they had that?
Well, I don't think that's been heard yet. I don't think that has been heard. There's a possibility of another points deduction, but I mean, you've got to give the team the massive credit for the form that they're showing.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, the form's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
I will say something. I'm not a big fan of Nathan Jones, so couldn't happen to a nicer bloke.
He did well at one club, didn't he? Nathan Jones at one club. He didn't fit in at Stoke. It didn't work at Stoke.
Was he at Preston? Or have I dreamt that?
Not sure.
I don't
help us
so.
out in the chat.
I think I dreamt that.
You have some strange dreams.
Yes, strange.
I've got two kids. It's either dream about football or dream about bloody Bluey the animal in Australia. I'm dreaming about football.
Right, let's have a quick look at the League One table before jumping into League Two. Carlisle looking like they're returning back to League Two, 5 points adrift of 23rd. They've got a lot of work to do to catch up with Charlton, haven't they?
Vale have got a new manager. Vale has sacked the manager as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Fleetwood turned a corner a little bit with a draw and 2 wins, but defeat at Lincoln yesterday. Let's see if that's
unlucky defeat. Very unlucky defeat at Lincoln as well.
Yeah. We'll see if they can turn that back around and continue to climb up the table. Cheltenham and Port Vale make up the bottom 4, but Cheltenham and Port Vale both have games in hand over Charlton, who are precariously close to the bottom 4, and that is a huge team to drop down into League Two.
But look at Reading's form: 3 wins and 2 draws in last 5. That's brilliant. That's super.
That's what you want to see when you're down at the wrong end of the table, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're a supporter of Reading, obviously, if you support the teams around them, you don't want to see that.
Yeah, and with everything that's going on there, just that little bit of belief for the fans will go a long way.
Yeah, definitely. Moving to the top of the table, Pompey still lead the way on 66 points. Derby in second on 60, with Bolton, Barnsley, Peterborough and Stevenage making up the playoffs, but Oxford...
it's a tight one again.
Yeah, I'd say Oxford and Blackpool have got a chance of getting in there. Leyton Orient outside chance. Plenty of football. Still 16 games to play.
Said it last 2 seasons. League One is the most entertaining league to watch if you want to watch a team go till the very end.
Yeah.
I
think this season's been a little bit more kind of cut and dry from previous seasons. I think there's like a group of teams towards the top and bottom. The mid-table's not really kind of in danger of kind of flirting with playoffs or getting relegated, whereas previous seasons, I think there's been maybe 10 or 12 teams down to the wire.
To be fair, you look at Wickham to say Leyton Orient, they'd be happy with that for their season.
Oh, yeah, we had it out.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's going to be... I think Portsmouth probably will win it now because they keep getting the odd 1-0 win here and there. But I think it's going to be a 2-way fight between Derby and Bolton for the second automatic spot. And as it stands at the moment, I'd sort of fancy Bolton over Derby.
Yeah,
they've got games in hand, haven't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, over to Cod's Vlogs at 8 o'clock if you want to get a bit more deeper dive into League One. But we'll move on to League Two now. And we asked you guys, the chats, we put a poll out, and Ian is not happy with you. He went to Crewe against Crawley, so that's where we'll start.
Well, actually, I had high hopes for this game because Crewe play football in the right way on the floor. They attack at will. The League Two champions are coming back from deficits, and Crawley themselves are having a pretty good season. So I was expecting a lot from this game. Unfortunately, it didn't deliver. It was dull. It was a midfield slog. All the effort and commitment from both sides were there. There was just absolutely no quality at all. It would have been a fair result if it had been a goalless draw and everybody had shook hands at half time. It was that poor. But Crewe did get the goal with their only shot on target. It was just to break down the right, and the Crawley defender lost the ball, and he went to the byline, put it across, and there were three people that could have put it in from round the penalty spot, and it was the fullback. I'm going to butcher this and all. Adibisi that scored it.
That were all right.
That's a good chance.
My attempt.
And after that, I mean, Crawley wanted to sort of up it, but the Crewe defence were solid as a rock. They never looked like scoring, so it was, 1-0. Yeah, fair enough. A massive result for Crewe because that puts them up to third place, and Crawley go back licking the wounds. But they're a decent side, Crawley, and they'll give a lot of sides in League Two a game. And I think it's a better season for Crawley than even they imagined it would be. Yeah. But don't never send me. I'll do my own.
I'm really annoyed now because during the international break we were going to send you to Afghanistan versus Iran.
Big one in an RAF helicopter.
There's a lovely chippy outside ground.
Let's have a quick catch up on the chat. Mark's asked my thoughts on the lone keeper played yesterday, so I will go into that when we get on to Donny versus Tranmere. Mr. C, I think this is to do with Nathan Jones. I think it was Luton where he was good first time around at least, not Preston. And Jonathan says that he thinks League Two is the one to watch. Anyone can beat anyone. It's a proper tough league. So I'd agree with that. I think League Two is decent this season. Unfortunately,
it's been fascinating this season, League Two.
Yeah, he says anyone can beat anyone apart from Donny. We can't seem to beat anyone until yesterday, where we did. I'm very happy.
That's a good segue. That.
Yeah. Well, isn't it?
Get the cheers on. Jake.
Say again.
Get the cheers on, mate.
It is the longest cheering soundbite I have ever heard. But no, on to this game. So massive game for Donny, down at the bottom of League Two. I think I mentioned last week, Sutton had a really good opportunity to slash 7 points down to 1. They failed to beat Harrogate midweek, and then we managed to salvage a draw late on, which kept that 7 point gap at 7 points, which it's not great. It's never nice looking at football that way. You want to be as high up the table as possible, but I think I think 7 point cushion. It's something. But then with results, what happened yesterday, I think this has just kind of made this result all the more important. And I thought not just result, the performance as well was fantastic. The 2 goals, very well taken. I think Adelakan is showing how good he can be at this level, and it's what we've probably been missing. ATID is going soundbite, more like a sound mouthful.
I will try and find a shorter one, but I've been looking and I can't find one.
I'm struggling to speak tonight. I don't know what's up with me. I haven't had a drink or anything. I've been on juice all day.
You're laughing, biking it to make sure you can just go to sleep and say yes to all the wedding stuff.
Possibly. But yeah, Adelakan, fantastic ball in for the first goal, and Joe Ironside's just managed to ghost in between the 2 centre-backs, and a fantastic header just flicked past the goalkeeper. And we were on his way. We were gritty. It was battling. I just thought from to a man, we matched them. Tranmere put pressure on. A really good finish by Hawks. A decent. It's kind of sold Sterry a little bit and managed to get past him, and he's just rifled it into the side netting, which was a fantastic goal. You've just got to hold your hands up sometimes. It was disappointing to see us allow somebody to cut in from the outside, as we've done so many times this season.
Credit to you on your vlog. You said great finish.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, mate, you've got to hold your hands up when there's goals like that. And I think there are obviously frustrations in terms of how he's managed to get past the player and get the shot off. But it was a good bit of play and a really good finish.
Yeah.
But I think scoring 4 minutes later just kind of epitomises our performance yesterday. Just so gritty and
you were clinical as well by the start.
We played for each other. And yeah, it was very composed, rounded the keeper, slotted it into the back of the net, and his celebration.
I really, really feel for you.
Yeah, I'm not keen on. Oh no, I've just seen outside of his comment. He's having an absolute mare of a day. It'll get better, honestly. But yeah, I wasn't keen on his celebration. With our injury list, he's doing backflips and stuff. We don't want that.
That's Donny way, though, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Yeah.
I've got Bailey. He's managed to get a couple of comments on Twitter. He finds it a bit easier posting on here rather than a massive long comment. So what Bailey said, he didn't expect anything from the game, but it was embarrassing. They didn't. Oh no, sorry, wrong one. Here we go. That was
lads. Before we go into this, I just want to put out there to chat. Would it be easier next season if we did an EFL 72 review Twitter, just as a backup if people wanted to do or something like that? If people find it easier,
let us know. We can get that set up.
I'm up for that. Yeah.
Here we go. I'm not reading the Stockport comment now.
Yeah,
that's the 3 points, which gives us a bit more breathing space from the bottom two. Hopefully, get at least one win from the next 2 games, get ourselves away from danger, and get some momentum going into next season. Completely agree with that. Thought it was an end-to-end game for the majority, with both teams having several half chances and a few good saves being pulled off from both keepers. Standouts for Bailey were Adelaide, Olawu for the first half, Wood and Senior. Thought Craig got better as the game got on, and it was probably Bailey's best game he's had in midfield. It was good to see the video of everyone singing McCann's name at the end, and shows how we all back him to turn us around. Late playoff push, I think, is probably tongue-in-cheek on that one. Was impressed with how front-footed we were again for set pieces and crosses. Very good command of his area, which is Jones's main weakness. Took pressure off of the defence a lot. So Bailey's talking about low to Tala on that. And yeah, I agree. He just seems to command his area a lot better. I'm not too sure on his kicking. We seem to be playing it out from the back a little bit more, which there's potential of putting us under pressure. But he just seems a bit more assured.
Is it me or is that kicking out from the back just really infected the entire football league?
Yeah.
It's like everyone does it now.
Seems to have, yeah.
Yeah, everybody tries it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic result. The results went our way around us. 10 points clear of the bottom 2. We're certainly not out of the woods yet. We've got to carry on getting points on the board. We've got Salford Tuesday, which is a tough one. Matt Smith will score a header, at least one probably. And then we've got Grimsby away next Saturday. So, like Bailey says, get one win out of those 2, and we're on his way potentially.
Grimsby on done for.
How did you feel on Tranmere? Do you think they were a good side? And
tell you what, you can see that Adkins is getting them playing.
Yeah,
I mean, first 3 months they were in trouble. But that boy Apter on the right wing, he just ripped us to pieces.
Very good wingers though.
Yeah, superb player.
They interchange a lot though, don't they? They both like switch between the 2 sides.
Yeah, but I think they'll have a chance of pushing on next season if Adkins is still there and he brings his players in for sure.
Yeah, plus he instills a belief in players. I think he's a really good manager, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Gets the best out.
He's done well wherever he's been.
Yeah.
The wheels have come off at 1 or 2 clubs, but he's a decent manager for this.
Yeah, he's good gaffer. Jake, any League 2 games that you want to touch on, mate, and I will try and catch up with a chat.
Gillingham, that is a cracking result.
Yeah.
Not County, since the manager they're dropping. all the kind of character they have, everything is set for them, it's all gone out the window.
They're out the bottom. They're out of the playoffs now, aren't they?
Yeah. When I heard he was going, this was my worry. Because they were built by a bloke who knew how to set teams up. If you now can't get Langstaff going, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And if you're letting Grimby go free and only getting one, look at the stats. It's very close, that game, but they were all really good taking goals. But the problem is they look easy to break down now, Notts, where during most of the season, they've been very solid. They've been quite a solid defensive.
Like I said last week when I saw him play Barrow, I thought the county defence were brittle and Barrow should have beaten them.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. They're good going forward, Notts, don't get me wrong. They're really good. They've got some good ball players. They've got Jones, Crowley. They've got some really decent players going forward, but defensively, on occasions they look a bit, all over the place. Yeah,
especially when at corners, they don't seem to know where the positions are at the minute. In League 2, corners are where a big chunk of goal will come from at times. And I worried. I thought the issue would have been Langstaff going and them keeping the manager. I never thought that he would go. I thought he'd go, but I thought he would go at the end of the season, not halfway through. And the wheels have just gone off now, and I don't know if they're going to be able to bring it back, because I think some of the damage has started to set in now. Good win for Gillingham though. Gillingham starting to play some good football again. It's slowly coming back.
And they're looking on form, and they're not too far away from the playoff place.
No, they're not.
Gillingham. No.
Good stuff.
Hey, if I got everything right, I won't be sat in a shed on a live feed.
None of us would be, mate. You and me,
breaking news. We're just fans, not professionals.
Lee, any League 2 games that you want to touch on?
I think we've got to touch on Newport County. They said Notts County, then it's in my brain, isn't it? Newport. What a run they're on. I think the last got beat with Wrexham 23rd of December. I've just looked. Unbelievable job he's doing, and they're really having a go now, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that will happen.
Top form teams in the league, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, Walsall no mugs this season to go and win 3-0 is a cracking result.
Do you think with Newport, with the whole situation that they've now got a bit of stability behind the scenes, do you think it's helping with players on the pitch and manager and stuff? Because I always wonder if the stability behind the scenes ain't right, does it filter down?
100%.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we've said this before, haven't we? If it's not right upstairs, it affects on the pitch. And is it the ex-Swansea?
Swansea owner. Yeah.
And
it's not like he doesn't know how to run a football club, because he did fantastic at Swansea.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've got a manager that says it as it is in Coquelin.
Yeah.
You don't take no ball from anybody.
Ex-player, I'm using it.
Oh yeah. James has said that they were tipped to go down. I think we had them kind of mid-table in our predictions, 3 points off the playoffs at the minute. Fantastic season for you guys. A decent run in the FA Cup as well. Man United, which is always an added bonus when you're down in League 2 for sure. It's just a case of keep on plugging away, and who knows, maybe in the playoffs come the end of the season.
I think with them also, Newport, I think no one really looks at them, so they're quietly going about the business.
I always think that's crucial.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? I'd love what we are. Well, I'd love a run, to be fair, at the minute.
I'd love just to not be in the news cycle for a lethal week.
Yeah, just have a week off without a statement.
I'll give Chansiri credit. He's not done one yet, and I was expecting one. My money was on one. The only statement he did was to wish me a happy Christmas, and I'm not going to say what I repeated when I saw it.
Before we look at the table, we will look at Wrexham against Bradford. We do have a decent contingent of Bradford fans that are in the chat, and a great result for them. I think
I've never seen a bloke as happy to score as Andy Cook did.
Yeah.
Oh, his celebration were fantastic.
He's just full on shithouse, isn't he? I love him.
Yeah.
I hate him at the same time.
Just because it's Andy Cook, I've got a special one.
I thought it were going to go again then.
It nearly did.
What you guys don't see on the chat is in front of Jake, there's just like a screen of buttons that are it's like a spaceship.
I'm also getting another one soon, so shush.
It looked like he wanted to. There was that ball on that cone, obviously, the keeper for a quick play. It looked like he wanted to absolutely smash that.
He did.
Harvey's come in the chat and said Bradford City's attack is looking immense. Cook, Young, Walker, Patterson, Tyreek Wright, Smith, and Poynton. It's there's something in that, isn't there? For
Lads,
sure.
if this happens, what Neil wants to happen, there is a longer version, and I won't find it.
That ain't happening, Neil. We want to try and keep this to around an hour, and Andy Cook scores far too many goals.
There you go. Can you imagine if he got 4 goals? I'd have to press that for all 4.
Oh. But no, fantastic result for Bradford. Alexander is the only manager. I think I've seen a comment saying that he's the only manager to have beat Wrexham at Wrexham this season, and he's done it twice.
Probably is, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Also, massive shout out to Harrogate. They're keeping that run going. I mean, what a run of form they're on.
Oh,
I mean,
they beat Colchester.
God, look at the stats.
Oh, damn.
25 shots, 5 on target.
There should be no rivalry between Donny and Colchester, but if anybody's followed my Twitter for
you made that rivalry yourself.
They brought it on, Jake.
I got in an argument on Twitter. Oh, I should know better. I ran around the keep moat naked for a tweet.
If anyone should know what a tweet does, you should.
Yeah. But no, Jack Muldoon, 90 plus 2 minutes, gets Harrogate the 3 points.
That's a smash and grab, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
That is a smash and grab.
Yeah.
But they're doing the business.
They are indeed. And we will see them doing the business when we get to the top end of the table. But down at the bottom, Forest Green, rock bottom on 20 points. Sutton in 23rd on 22, giving themselves a lot to do to get out of this. Colchester just above the drop on 29. Grimsby on 29 too. And
giving yourself a little bit of lifeline.
Breathing space, lads. 10 points away from the bottom 2. But
breathing space.
Yeah, I think it's a case of not resting on our laurels. We've got to keep on pushing because we can easily get dragged back into that. We're not out of the woods yet. So points on the board is a must. We've got Salford.
I think Donny's issue is that they've been so inconsistent.
Yeah, it's years of underfunding, which has finally caught up with us. And hopefully they put the wrongs right this summer.
You wouldn't think they would be underfunded in what part of Donny they're in.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame to see us where we are. But yeah, we will see how we get on over the final 16 games of the season. Salford Tuesday, Grimsby on Saturday, so a massive week for us. Bradford's win pulls them up to 14th on 40 points. Potential late playoff push, but I think probably a little bit too much to do to get in there with the traffic between them and 7th. But yeah, Harrogate are in the playoffs with MK Dons, Wrexham and Barrow. Another team that we didn't expect to be up there. Barrow, absolute fantastic season. Crewe as well, probably overperforming this season with Mansfield and Stockport. Probably fighting it out until the final game.
Would you say Notts have now got to really go with mid-table?
The way things are looking.
Yeah, I mean, that form's not great, is it? 2 draws in the last 5, but they're only a couple of points away from the playoffs, a turning form. It's such a tight division. I think there's going to be twists and turns all the way through.
Hold up, I must be asleep. When did Harrogate get up there?
I know. Through many and many wins.
Yeah.
Neil said if we can beat MK on Tuesday, we then have Sutton on Saturday by next weekend, it could look different. Yeah, that's it. I think two or three wins in this division, and the whole landscape changes, doesn't
I'm
it?
saying it now. I want Bradford City versus MK Dons in the playoff final. That'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
There we
And
go.
Crewe have got a massive game at midweek at Stockport.
Oof.
That is an absolutely immense game, that.
Yeah, tasty. Lovely stuff. That finishes off League Two. Let's get into the Championship before we round this video off. Get the predictions table in and things. We will start on Friday night with another local team winning. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Birmingham 0. I will let Jake and Lee take this between us.
I have no idea where this came from because I was dreading this game. After our last game, I was like, right, we're going to get smacked because we got absolutely tonked in the FA Cup. 4 goals in 8 minutes this time instead of 4 goals in 12. And it's like, okay, what are we going to get in this? And you know what? Before the game, everything was talked about the protest. Whatever your position as a Wednesday fan of the protest, I will not have a go at you for protesting. And I will not have a go at people who are wanting to put money into the club buying season tickets and shirts and stuff. We lost 2 years of having our escapism gone due to a pandemic. So if you want to put your money in, you put your money in. I'm not going to have a go. I think it's going to go toxic before it gets better. But it's the first time in a while where we've looked clinical and actually looked a bit dangerous, haven't we, Lee?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Was it first goal? Cracking move, wasn't it?
That Pervader is an absolute cracking player, and he's out of contract in the summer. It was just a really good move, and just having somebody in the right place at the right time for once had been really good. But that being said, Birmingham, is it Bakuna? He was all over the place. He had our keeper pulling off some really good saves. And we still look a little bit shaky at the back. Don't get me wrong. I still don't like playing out from the back. And we do have the issue when we're going forward. We are very light at the back. We play a very high line. But second half, just carried on trying to do what we wanted to do again. A cracking ball in for Ugbo to get his second. And I haven't seen a Wednesday player go for a header all season like that. It's like they've been scared to head the ball. And we weathered the storm, though, at the end. Really weathered the storm. But I think if Danny can get up playing like that away, potentially it good news. But 25 shot, 4 on target. I hate to say someone like a Leicester, Southampton, or Leeds, we're getting battered.
Yeah.
I think we're Mowbray. I think Birmingham fans have got insane fans. I was quite impressed with him. A lot said online that Birmingham were crap. I don't know what game they were watching. I
thought they were good.
I thought they caused us problems at times. Like I say, he says if they'd been more clinical, we'd have got beat. But no credit to them. We dug in, and I thought we played all right. And
also,
got the goals.
Before we do end it on the Wednesday thing, Eddie the Vlogger. Has anyone seen what's happened to Eddie Vlogs? He's a Birmingham City fan who vlogs. He had a camera with him at the game. Stewart had come, he can't come in with that. It was all going fine up until head steward came in and kind of talked to him, and they made it so he couldn't actually watch the game. He spent money getting there. He had a ticket, and they refused to let him in and do it because he had his camera on him.
Bloody hell.
That's bad.
Could they not have confiscated his camera and he could have collected it after the game so that it could have still gone in?
It's just a joke. Al talk, bless them. They put a fundraiser up to reimburse him his match ticket and his fuel and everything like that. And they raised it within about 50 minutes and he got his money back for everything. So it's nice to see just helping out, but that gotta stop doing things that draw attention to us like that, because I understand what we've had this conversation this Sunday in the chat, and we understand it. We get it. If you're gonna do it, take a phone.
Yeah.
Don't take a camera.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? Shame. It is a shame.
Yeah.
Your dad's come in, Lee. Football's getting ridiculous, changing sponsorship mid-season. While we're on Sheffield Wednesday, just found out that Tenerife's done the same. It's disgusting on fans. Bought a shirt with A up. Loved it because I'm a Yorkie.
Do you know why?
Go
Do
for it.
people know why? Basically, the CEO of Wanadisco was potentially investigated for fraud, and he basically did the sponsorship without letting Wanadisco know. So he didn't get signed off on, so he just did it off his back. It's then they've now changed. They're now not Wanadisco. They're this new sponsorship with the white thing on it. It looks crap. I'm not gonna lie. It looks really shit. Yeah. It looks absolute crap.
It just ruins a decent shirt.
Yeah. And the thing is,
the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, they've had the thing is if you want to have that plastered over the new shirt, you can do. Rather not. But the new company has had it that they did an internal investigation and 30% of their workforce got sacked for fraud after it.
Sounds like a good company.
Yeah.
Yeah. On this one though, Lee, obviously last weekend, damaging result against Huddersfield. We came on, did the live stream, and it was a bit flat. It felt like that was the nail in the coffin. As this reignited the hope again that you can get out of there. I mean, Huddersfield got beat this weekend as well. It's one of them seasons, isn't it, where it's kind of ebbing and flowing. You never know. You're never sure if you can just kind of write it off like Ian has. Sorry, Ian. Or if there's still that hope that you can survive.
I wrote it up before Christmas, but
I think there's always hope with a man like Danny Roll in charge. I think the more pleasing thing, I think the result were for him.
Yeah.
He got a lot of stick.
Undeserved as well.
Undeserved, which is absolutely mind boggles. That fans were even calling for him to be sacked. We've got to remember he come into this season inheriting a squad that's not his. He's not really been backed. Yeah, he's had a few loans. People say he's not been backed. Let's be brutal, be honest. He's not been backed at all. And you can tell that because in January got quite frustrated. I met him and you could just tell it was just like a lack of energy. He was just frustrated. January for him, he'd probably had all these big ideas and he's just not had that back in. So for me, I'm more pleased that he got that result and you could tell at the final whistle.
Oh, he went mental, didn't he? I loved it.
Yeah, what it meant to him. But yeah, I've always got hope when we're a manager like Danny Roll in charge because the performances are better than what they were start of the season with that clown that we had. I'm not even going to say his name because it's just an absolute buffoon.
We'll go with that.
Chance series put us in this position of where we're at, so we've just got to keep fighting and just hope that we can nick him maybe a point on Tuesday, and hope even if we lose that results go our way. But yeah, I'm hopeful, mate. The pleasing thing, we bounced back.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Good singer, your old gaffer though, weren't he? Great song in early 2000s, wasn't
it? Yeah. That's probably what he's good for.
Before we go on to Leeds, Rotherham, and bring Ian back in, we'll go Sunderland Plymouth because before I lose that comment, I feel for ATID still 3/4 of an hour away from home. It's been a long weekend.
Just go to next away, David. Quick.
I know, just stay out.
Well, I think the last 4 games are at home. The next 4 games.
Yeah, next few games are all at home, so he needs to get back. So I suppose he might as well. First half, toe to toe.
It's not a disgrace, that. It's not a disgrace, that. Because Sunderland are a very good team at all.
Yeah. But he said should have been 4 or 5-0 Argyle at half time. Second half, we genuinely thought we weren't allowed to defend. Onking, referee handing yellows for fun.
Who was the ref?
I don't know who the ref was.
Can you get that up?
Let me find out.
But yeah, from the highlights, I think ATID is pretty close and pretty honest there. I think they did go toe to toe for the first half. Second half, it just kind of fell to pieces a little bit. I think
that's why it's Anthony Backhouse.
Oh, he loves it. Yeah.
Yeah, no wonder now seeing it. He loves having cards. He's probably gotten on for Christmas.
I don't think ATID is a fan of him.
Neither are we.
but yeah, I think the defending showed with Bellingham's goal. They just allowed far too much time and space, and allowed to run into the box and pick his spot, and decent finishes. But yeah, disappointing second half for Plymouth. But like you said, Ian, it's a tough old place to go. The soul sometimes. So yeah, 3 or 4 games at home now for Plymouth. So I think that's a good opportunity to get some more points on the board and gather.
If you want a little insight into Anthony Backhouse, 6 yellow cards versus Sunderland, Plymouth, 5 versus Hull, Millwall, 9 versus Sheffield Wednesday, Coventry, 9 versus Northampton, Wigan.
A little question for ATID. Do Plymouth set up differently at home to away? Because obviously away they're pretty poor, and home they're not bad.
Yeah. It said Barley Mumbers aged like milk in this league. Not a disgrace. Probably pissed off because his title. Age like milk. Ian, Leeds versus Rotherham, a game that you didn't expect to win. One where it started off a little frustratingly for you with Leeds' first goal.
That's one way of putting it. That's one way of putting it. We didn't expect anything. Well, we don't expect anything from any game this season. You're about setups. We set up, and I'm criticising Liam Richardson here, because we got beat by Southampton last week 2-0. We never laid a glove on them, and it really was men against boys. He set up with exactly the same team this week. We've signed 3 players during the transfer window. Well, the last bit of the transfer window. Wyke, the guy from Cardiff I can't pronounce, Rilla Motor or somebody, and that's Sakiri from Sheffield United. All 3 of them were on the bench for the second week running. We set up to try and get a 0-0 draw, home or away. We've got no idea. As midfield gets overrun, all Jordan Hugo does all game is eat grass. Goes back as though he's been fouled every time any player goes anywhere near him. So obviously the referees regard him as a joke. But yeah, it was just a white procession, just a wave of white shirts towards our goal. But it doesn't help when you get a ridiculous decision that was Leeds' first goal. That were Patrick Bamford putting the ball in with his elbow. That just about everybody in the stadium, everybody in the stadium saw it, apart from the officials.
Apart from the people that matter.
Ian.
Fuck off.
There you go.
Oh, thanks. But even in his goal celebration, Bamford ran towards the Leeds fans, giving it that with his elbow. In fact, admitting it. And I don't know.
By the way, that F off to Bamford, not in Leeds, not you.
But yeah, I mean, in the second half, Somerville took over, and what a fantastic player he is. He's an absolute dreamer. He's a cheat code for this division.
Yeah,
he should really be playing in the Premier League He won a penalty. Peter Chioso brought him down. It was a definite penalty. Stroked it, did a Panenka, and then just finished it off with another decent move. It probably should have been 5, 6, or 7. I mean, the latter stage of the game, we had a little bit of a go, got a couple of shots on target, which is 2 more than we normally do away from home. But yeah, fine. Just end this season now, for God's sake. Because as a season ticket holder, I mean, I've got 2 home games in this week. We've got Hull City on Tuesday night. We've got Watford on Saturday. And we're even getting people on Twitter saying, season ticket holders saying, they're just not bothering. They've just given up, and I've given up. And I think Liam Richardson have given up. And it's just going to be a really, really long few months.
Yeah, it's not good when a club's at that position, is it? Is there? No. There's not any negative records that you could be on for that you know of, is there? Or
well, we hold the championship record for the league.
Well, you just don't want. When you're having a season like this, that's the last thing you want. Sorry, Ian.
It's all right. We hold the record for the least number of points in the championship season, which I think is 23. I think we're going a long way to go towards beating that because I just can't see where another win's going to come from. I just can't see us winning another game all season because what's the point in bringing 3 players in on transfer deadline day and leaving them on the bench? I just can't understand it. And also, I mean, we've cut Liam Richardson a little bit of slack because of the squad he's inherited, but he's doing nothing with them. If anything, the team are playing worse under Richardson than they were under Matt Taylor. And I don't know. I mean, there's one or two. Well, there's one or two Tony Stewart outs on Twitter, which is in itself absolutely ludicrous. But
it's a well-run club.
It is, but I can't really see us getting another 3 points all season. I mean, we've got the lowest win total in the entire EFL in 3 wins. Yeah. I think it could still be 3 wins when it comes to the 46th and last game against Cardiff. I don't know. I like to go and do my vlogs because it makes me forget for a while, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Escapism.
I mean, I'm always saying, well, are we getting on? And oh Christ, we're 3-0 down. Fair enough. Put my phone back in my pocket. But this season can't end quickly enough. And but there's going to have to be a massive restructure of the playing staff come the start of next season. Because once you instill a losing mentality, it's very hard to let go of that. And I'm an honest bloke because I know we're rubbish. I'm trying not to swear here. I know we're rubbish. And I think the current Rotherham United squad would struggle to stay in League One. That's how bad we are.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, big overhaul in the summer you're expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with a big overhaul, do you think Stuart will give him the backing to give him the overhaul?
Well,
considering he doesn't use a lot.
No, exactly. A lot will hinge on a possible summer sale for Victor Johansson because he's our one massive saleable asset. He's a wonderful goalkeeper. He's still contracted to the end of next season. So I think the club, to offset the financial hit we'll take by going down, will sell Johansson to try and offset that. And
the value is about 3 million.
Well,
chunk of money,
I was thinking more 5, but 3 million as a starting point, because he is definitely a championship standard keeper, if not higher, in my opinion.
I'd say the lower end Premiership keeper.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. But he's our one saleable asset, and if we can get a good fee for him, we can start to recruit some decent League One standard players. Yeah. Obviously, the wage bill is not going to be what it is in the Championship, but players are going to have to understand that.
Yeah, certainly are. There we go. Ian's wanting this season to end. Lee, Jake, is there any other Championship games that you guys want to touch on before we look at the table and round this episode off?
I just think results for Wednesday's just not too bad for us.
Yeah.
It were looking like a disaster day, to be fair.
That was incredible, that.
Yeah.
We all just felt, I think they were winning twice, were they?
2-0.
3 times.
They
winning 3 times.
They went 2-0 up.
Twice, yeah.
Then it went back to 2-2. Then they went 3-2 up, and then last 10 minutes ran out of steam, and I think the scoreline probably flatters Southampton to a certain extent when you look at the stats as well. Huddersfield went toe to toe with him. So,
I will.
It's the sort of game Lee normally picks that 5.
Yeah.
Other results in and around you
Blackburn
guys.
Rovers. It
Yeah,
gone
that's
a
a
little
good win
bit.
for them.
It got a little bit under the radar because it's not been talked about much. They got a new manager.
Yeah.
JT left because I'm going to say it's just due to the whole mess of their transfer window. Basically the player we were going for, Duncan Maguire, apparently they hit save instead of send. Believe that much as you like, but I don't believe any of that. It sounds like you've been told by higher up we don't have the money for this. But Eustace in charge, and I think this is the right appointment for him. I think I think he'll do really well there. I think if they can keep holders Doyle and Simic, I think he got something to build on.
Actually, I think keeping Schmodics will keep them in the championship.
Yeah. I think Stoke are dropping like a stone.
Yeah.
They are
for Ennis,
really struggling. Kind of thing. What is it, Dan?
Claxon for Ennis.
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
Like ex-Rovers, isn't it?
He is indeed. Very good player. But yeah, they are dropping fairly quickly, aren't they?
They could get pulled into this bottom thing.
Easily.
Yeah, easily done.
Good stuff. Any more games that we want to touch on before we look at the table?
Yeah.
Do you
think the wheels have come off at Portman Road?
Where am I looking?
Because they seem to Ipswich. Yeah, because they can't see. They've stopped winning.
They weren't able to bring in a striker they wanted though, because you got to remember they lost George Hurst. They let Ladapo go to Charlton. They brought in the lad from Wimbledon.
They got Kiefer Moore, didn't they?
They got Kiefer Moore, but I don't think they've seen him yet. Which, if he settles in, he could do it. But they are really looking like they could drop out.
Yeah,
lucky to get. I would say lucky to get a draw. But you look at the stats, they probably deserved it. But at the same time, you shouldn't be waiting until you're 93rd. That's the lad. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to try and say it. That's the problem.
I think credit to Ipswich, though. I mean, we're talking about them dropping off. They've just been promoted to the Championship, and
they've had a fantastic
Leicester, Southampton, and Leeds. I think we've got to give them credit for
how
they've pushed on from League One.
They're just having their mini pot.
It's been a really good first season back in, hasn't it?
Yeah. But Albion are looking strong. West Brom are looking quite strong for a late playoff.
I felt sorry for Dyke at Albion. He's been riddled with injuries, and he's done the same ankle again, and he was in tears.
Yeah. I can vouch, once you've done an ankle, that's it. It's weak.
You tried to run it off, Dan. You really did.
Yeah, I don't think it helps that it's trying to carry about a ton. Looking at the table before we round this one off, Rotherham currently sit bottom on 19 points, with Sheff Wednesday above them on 26, 3 points behind QPR on 29, and then Huddersfield are on 31 points, just outside of the drop. Jake, you mentioned Stoke
and Birmingham looking vulnerable.
Yeah,
Birmingham will get out of it.
It's not great, is it?
Yeah,
I think Birmingham will get out of it. Stoke, I'm not sure about.
Yeah,
I mean, let's face it. I mean, Wednesday and Birmingham have still got to come to our gaff, so that's 6 points. That's 6 points they're going to get.
Yeah,
I don't know. We tend to struggle against you at your gaff.
I don't know. I thought it was Hillsborough that we always won at, apart from this season.
You did the double against us last time.
Yeah. It was COVID. We won 3-0 at New York.
Oh, it was COVID, and it was that bloody drone. Could delayed the kickoff.
Right.
Yes.
Millwall could get dragged into it as well. They got beat 2-1 by Coventry earlier today. Moving to the top of the table, Leicester running away with it, aren't they?
No.
I don't think they'll be caught up. But second is getting fought out between Southampton and Leeds, but Southampton do have that slight advantage of the game in hand.
Shock horror, the parachute teams are doing well.
Yeah. You've got to win that game in hand, though. So we will see what happens with that. Ipswich, West Brom and Coventry make up.
Well, I'll tell you this much, if the table stops as it is, what a playoff. What a playoff. See, Leeds, West Brom, Ipswich, Coventry. Some good games there.
There's a massive gap now between 5th and 4th, so it's like they've got their own mini league there now.
Yeah, kind of this area.
It's like it looks like Leicester's already done it, It's a mini league between Ipswich and Southampton. Then it's a mini league between West Brom and say
Preston, maybe.
Preston, yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. We're going to enjoy the remaining 16 games of the Championship.
Well, you
season.
might. You might.
I don't know. Depends.
Some of us are going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get the predictions on before we finish off. A decent week for everybody this week. Plenty of points on the
Apart
board.
from me.
Three
Yeah,
now.
apart from Ian, it's not been a great
climb.
week across the board for
Nice.
Ian, unfortunately. Plenty of moves in the table, but moving on to this week, Millwall versus Sheffield Wednesday. Ian, what are you going with, mate?
To be honest, I fancy Wednesday strongly here. I think Wednesday will win 1-0.
I've gone 1-0 as well. Rotherham versus Watford.
Watford are a funny side, pretty inconsistent, brilliant on the day. I don't know. I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
1-1. I've gone 2-1 to Watford. Portsmouth against Reading.
Now, this is going to be a Colton buster, right? I think it's going to be a Reading 2-1.
Oh, I've gone opposite. I've gone Pompey 2-1. And Grimsby Donny.
You've missed Swindon MK out.
Dons.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Swindon MK.
It's going to be a similar sort of game of what I went to yesterday, I think. I'm going 0-0.
0-0. I've gone 1-0 MK. And finally, Grimsby versus Doncaster.
Again, I'm going for the local team. I'm going Grimsby 1, Doncaster 2.
Oh, lovely. I've gone 1-2 as well. I think we'll get them 3 points at Grimsby. Or I'm hoping we do. Lee, let's go through these games. Millwall, Sheffield Wednesday.
1-1.
1-1. Yep. Rotherham,
Watford. Watford 2-1.
Yep. Pompey,
Pompey 2-1.
Yep. Swindon MK.
MK 3-1.
And Grimsby Donny.
2-1 to Grimsby. Sorry, Dan.
Don't worry about it. We're still friends. Jake.
I'm going 1-1 Wednesday.
Yep.
2-1 Watford.
Yep.
I think it could be 1-0 Reading.
1-0 Reading. Yep.
MK Don 2, Swindon 1.
2-1 MK. Yep.
And I reckon it'll be a 2-0 win Grimsby.
Lovely stuff. Let's get that out of the way. As always, get your comments in, get it in the chat, get it in the comments in the video over the week, get your predictions in, and I'll update that table and we'll see who does well and who doesn't next weekend. But yeah, this rounds off episode 61. Any final words? We'll start just below me with Lee.
Now, another great show. Big numbers again, Dan, so it's credit to you, mate. Absolutely.
Creeping up, mate, innit?
Yeah, you deserve it, mate. And it's great to have everyone on. And another top week getting to football matches ahead.
Yeah. And a win on Saturday sometimes helps, doesn't it? It's a
Yeah.
weird feeling.
What's one of them?
It was nice winning Friday, knowing we didn't have to worry about how I could just go off on my travels Blackpool, not have a care in the world.
It's amazing how your weekend gets so much better when you win.
Yeah, definitely. Jake, any final words, mate, before we round up?
Cracking show again. Support the lads and just keep building this because we enjoy doing it. It's a good laugh. And at the end of the day, football can do many things with tribalism, but it also brings fans together. It brings community together. And we do this because we love talking about our teams, even if they depress us most of the time.
Yeah. It's comments like this that make it all worthwhile, making train rides bearable. I don't know if that's. I think it's a compliment, making it bearable.
He's 25 minutes from home.
He's not doing too bad. Ian, any final words before we finish off, mate?
Another decent therapy session, and by God, I need it at the moment. Yeah, enjoyed it. And then see you all next week.
Will do indeed. And I don't think I can add anything to that. I've really enjoyed this Sunday. Like I say, decent therapy session. It's nice to come on with a win, which is not too often this season. But yeah, hopefully we continue it and push on up the table. And hopefully it's a more positive week for Ian, and another positive week for the Wednesday guys as well. I hope everybody in the chat, thank you so much for it being so active, but I hope you all have a great week. If you're watching this through the week, please stick a big thumbs up on it. Comments, get them in the section down below. Subscribe to these guys so that they get to see your support as well. But yeah, all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and we'll see you in episode 62 next week.